Hi everyone, I'm Ankush, and in this video I'm going to explain you about a very famous algorithm which is used to secure your passwords. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, what is hashing and why do we need hashing? Hashing is a process of securing passwords. For example, here I have written a password which is password123. Uh, Password123 is my password, and what I've done, I have created a hash out of this particular password. And now, what is actually happening here? Suppose that I'm a user and I'm visiting facebook.com. And after visiting facebook.com, what I did, I created an account and I created an account by, let's say, my name is Ankush. This was my name. And let's say my username. And my password was password123. So this was my password, which I entered. And then what eventually happened, these both credentials got taken by Facebook, and then these were put inside a database. Okay, so this is my database, and these were put inside a database. Now, what happened now? There's an attacker, and this attacker comes and decides that let's try to hack the password. Let's try to hack the database of Facebook, and somehow it was able to access your database, like the database of Facebook. Now, it can see all of the details. It can see that there is a user whose name is Ankush, and it is his username, and his password is password123. So let's log in by his credentials and do some dirty stuff. Whatever dirty stuff he wants to perform, he can do it because now he has your credentials. This is a very conventional way of storing passwords. Like the name was entered, then the password was entered, and then this password was stored in the database as a plain text. But these days, because of attackers and all, because of security purposes, this password, the password you entered, is not stored in the form of plain text. Instead, it is stored in the form of a hash. I suppose that, as you can see here, I entered a password, password123, but this was not the password which was saved inside the database. The actual thing which was saved inside the database was this particular thing. So let's say I'm an attacker and I attacked the database of Facebook, and somehow I got access to your credentials. Let's say your name was Ankush, and now even after I can see your password, I cannot log in, because when I try to log in with this particular password, this long hash, I cannot log in because this was not the original password. This is now this is not how the passwords are compared with the help of hash. Okay, so I hope this thing is pretty much clear to you. Let's get started with the next thing, which is about the properties of hashing. So why hashing is done is clear. The next thing is how hashing works. So hashing simply works. Let's say you entered a password and your password was pass123. This is a normal password. This is a plain text. What happens is this gets converted to a long hash, and your hash can look like, for example, hashtag 123 fee, and then whatever you want to name, a, and then it's a long hash which is of fixed size. Let's say you are using SHA-56 method of generating hash, SHA-256. So what it does, it generates a hash of 256 bit, or you can say 32 byte. It generates a hash of 256 bit or 32 byte, and then this is taken and stored inside the database. That's why attackers, even if they got the access of your database, cannot see your password and cannot log in with your credentials. Fine. This is how this hashing thing works. Now there are a few things about hashing, like there's a thing called decryption and encryption. So how does this decryption and encryption works? There's a famous way of Caesar cipher, and what used to happen in that famous game, like in the ancient times when kings used to send their message from one place to another, like from one king to another, they used to use this process of Caesar cipher. And what used to happen, they used to follow technique. For example, I have written A, B, C. This is my message, and I want to encrypt it. I used to encrypt it as like I will rotate it by 3 characters each. This is the technique, let's say, which they used to follow, and this was sent along with the details. So this whole thing was sent, and then after converting it to plus 3, what used to happen? The original message was used to be look like A plus 3 C D E. This was the message. And because of it, if anyone in the way got this, like they got the message, they will not be able to see what the actual message was, because it was encrypted by Caesar cipher. And as soon as it reaches its destination, which is another king, that another king used to use this technique, and here +3 was done. At this place, -3 will be done, and this CDE will be again converted to ABC. And now the other king can see what the actual message was. So this is how encryption and decryption is done. Password, like the thing is encrypted with some random stuff, and then it is decrypted. But hashing does not work like this. It is one-way process. One-way process simply means if a hash is generated, you cannot generate the original password from the hash. So it is one-way process. Even if I'm a hacker and I got the access to your database, whatever data you saved as your password, I will not be access it, because the hash cannot be converted into the plain text again. Same thing, the next thing is it is of same size. As I said, that SHA-256 uses this what do you call it, 256 byte thing to 256 bits, and it generate it in the 256 bits format. The password will be no longer than, it will be no longer than 256 bits and no less than 256 bits. Fine, this used to be the fixed size, and whatever input you write, for example, my password is password123, pass123, or my password is 123456789 ANKUSH. Doesn't matter what is the size of my, what is the size of my input, the output will always be constant. Okay, so these are the three things which are basically the properties of this hashing and all. um yeah, I guess this is pretty much about hashing. One more thing is, it becomes pretty much difficult for a hacker to crack passwords normally. For example, if you entered a password which is pass123, pass only, so password, this is your password, let's say. And as you know that in the English dictionary, there are 26 letters small and 26 letters capital. And let's suppose you entered a password which is of 26 small letters. And if the hacker somehow knows that whatever password has been entered only contains small letters and does not contain any special characters or does not contain any numbers, it only contains 26, like the words of English alphabets in small case only. So, what are the possible combinations that he can generate to get the actual password is 26 raised to the power 8, which is 208 billion. And to guess a number in 208 billion is very, very hard computationally. That's why it is generally very hard to crack passwords. But there is still, we try to make it so much secure by adding converting into hash, and then generating also a salt out of it. Fine. This is how hashing and sorting works. So this is how hashing works. Next thing is sorting. Sorting is generally the process of adding a few characters. For example, you generated a hash, you typed a password, and your type password is pass123, and a random hash is generated now. Now, uh, let's say there comes another user and he enters the same password, pass123. The hash that will be generated will be the same particular hash. Out of this thing, the hash will be same. Out of this thing, the hash will be same. It means whatever input you write will have a fixed hash for it. That's why hackers use a thing which is called rainbow table. So rainbow table is simply a combination of whatever hashes whatever the hashes there are that can be generated, and then the actual password for it. For example, there's a hash ABCDE 123, and if this is generated from, let's say, ANK, this particular password. So now the hacker can maintain a table that whenever he sees a hash of one ABCDE 123, the password will be ANK. If the hash is, let's say, EFGH 2563, then the password is GHE. He can create this table like with a lot more entries, and then he can perform simply mapping of the passwords. So by hashing, your password is not so much secure. It means it still can be cracked by the attacker. That's why we use a process called salting. And what salting does? Salting simply adds a few characters to the starting and the ending before hashing. Let's say my type password was pass123. What it will go through? First of all, it will go through salting, which means random characters will be added. So pass123 will be converted to, let's say, 246 P A S 123, and then 65 P Q R. This random string will be generated by salting, and after salting, hashing will be done, which means that this will be converted to a particular hash. Now, if two users come and enter the same password, for example, another user comes and he enters the same password, which is pass123. First of all, salting will be done, and then with the help of salting, random characters will be added to the starting at the ending, and this particular hash will be generated for one, and the another particular hash will be generated for the another one. There will be no same hash for same passwords. And then after hashing, the final hash will be generated, and then the two final hashes which are generated for the same password will look different, and then there will be no chance of cracking it. I mean, there are still chances, but it becomes absolutely difficult for any cracker. Like, he needs to have so much computational power just to crack this particular password. So yeah, this is how hashing and salting is done, and your passwords are protected from attackers and hackers by companies. So hashing and sorting process is done like this way. So yeah, thank you.